This was what we started out as a perfume flower garden. But there's so many flowers that don't have a perfume, and sometimes it just felt like not sticking to the plan. So this year I just scattered a seed mix that I got from Tractor Supply, of all places, and they had a.
We love Tractor Supply.
They take a lot of our money. I had some Russian sage in here, and I also have somewhere some boxwoods. I might take out the boxwoods. I don't know. But these very kind of billowy, tall-stemmed flowers. I don't even know what these are. They're like very echinacea-like in some respects. These grew out of the mix, and I also got a lot of brown-eyed Susans. And they actually look very lovely with the blue purple of the Russian sage. And they just kind of came almost up to the height of the top of this pedestal, and it was very lovely. It was like this lady was surrounded by flowers, and she was thinking about these flowers, and it just created a really lovely scene. So I might do that again and take out the boxwoods, which actually are so tiny and young that they're not doing anything anyway, and just grow some of these, like scattering some of these annual or perennial seeds here. And the Russian sage is a good foil for them, actually. What I noticed this year, and I had some baby Russian, this is baby blue jean, or blue jean baby Russian sage. It's not supposed to grow like humongous so that it would cover the statue. I like the way that the rust is kind of developing on this platform. This was all in my plan, all a part of a master plan.
It's called Corten steel.
I know what it is. The weather this year is a little off. I noticed that something is a little off about the weather. So we didn't get this blooming until now, and it's November 2nd or 3rd? November 3rd? And also the lavender didn't bloom until this late. So the lavender at this point is kind of looking a little stringy and like blanky. It's actually flowering, and we had lavender almost at every corner of each of these rectangular beds at one point, and I mean they grow, but they're not in love with the soil here because they like rather dry conditions. So I just replaced them. I should learn to really start lavender from cuttings. I did some seed, like growing lavender, so I have some lavenders kind of in the wings to replace ones that kind of phase out. So this is the so-called perfume garden. I barely weeded. I pulled out some large trees that were growing in here. But we have a lot of this rose called
that's all the drama.
Duck drama. I don't understand. It seems like ducks mate like 3/4 of the year. They just will not stop. Some of them will just not stop mating. They are very promiscuous animals. I did not know this. And they're loud, very loud about it. And our goose doesn't like it. And I don't like it because they're too loud. We have a couple, more than a couple, Kazanlik roses in here, and they are once blooming shrub rose from the Middle East, or is it the Middle East? Turkey, is that considered Middle East?
Yeah, Near East.
Near East. And they are one of the roses that are used to gather the essential oil from the roses because they're very fragrant roses. They have the classical rose perfume rose. They bloom magnificently once in the spring, But my regret is that it's only once. And so I'm thinking of phasing most of them out slowly. So we have one here, Kazanlik, 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 Kazanlik. But this one is an Eden. Eden is a climbing rose. There's really no smell to the Eden rose, but it is one of the most loveliest roses. So I have an Eden here, and I think that there's another Eden over here. So I might move that one up there. One of these over here is Dustin from Rohan, and another one is like the Four Seasons rose. And what I like about these two is that they have the appearance of the Kazanlik rose, but they bloom all year long. They're continuous bloomers. They pop out these beautifully fragrant roses that smell exactly like the Kazanlik, just continuously throughout the year, especially this one right here. And they have that one big flush in the spring, and they seem to have and then they just do pop out some roses here and there, which I like. I want very fragrant, and I want continuously blooming. So that's going to take a little research to see what's out there. There is some that are out there. This plant right here, this overgrown plant, is a smoke bush. It is the purple kind, and now it's turning this beautiful kind of rusty red color. And of course, the smoke bush is not a fragrant plant, so I've broken the rule right here. But I just thought they were so beautiful. I had two here, and one died. I don't know if it belongs here, but this one is a crepe myrtle and has this very dark chocolate purple leaves. By the way, this one doesn't have a perfume either. There is no smell to this flower, but it is stunning. So I just thought that these two went together, since they're like a dark purple normally when the leaves don't change, and this one's leaves don't really change whether it's fall or spring, I think. And it has these little berries. It looks like little fruit after the flowers drop, and it seems like a fairly slow grower. It also died down last year, so we thought it was dead, and then it came back from the dead. So it resurrected itself. So it seems to be maintaining a decent size, a controllable size right here. So I like this. Uh-oh, someone's fighting. Oh God, it's a brawl. Our male drakes have been vying for alpha male duck roles. And, there's a lot of neck biting and wing biting and so on and so forth. But I don't think anyone truly gets, hurt. It's just a lot of posturing too. This one is a spice bush. And I thought I ordered a red one, but once again, one red, one white. They sent me two whites. And this is the white flowered spice bush. And the smell of this spice bush is fantastic. The flowers smell like a very ripe melon. That's the only way I could describe it. It smells like a really ripe melon. I just threw, one or two walking onions, Egyptian walking onions in here. The walking onions are not very spicy compared to the green bunching onions, but, they're an interesting specimen. This is a, oh God. It has a purple conish flower. It has a smell, and that smell it smells like bud.
You find it something that smells like bud?
No, I mean, I thought it was an interesting kind of tall purple blue plant, and I grew this in here. And the flowers smell nasty. But the plant is very nice, and it's very nice in its structure. And when it's dried, it has a very nice structure that you can use for
Dried bud.
arrangements. But it smells like bud. These are incredible hydrangeas. And I think I should have chosen something a little smaller, but I really like them. This is the second flush of blooms because I gave this a huge haircut and then it had this beautiful flush of blooms again. So did it twice this year. I have harvested so many of these big, beautiful, white, poofy balls of flowers. And I just like them. So this is a perfume garden that breaks a lot of rules that are not filled with non-perfume plants as well as perfume plants. I used to have some Mexican tuberose in here, which were very fragrant, but eventually died off because the ducks trampled them all or ate all the leaves. Some of them might still be in here, but they just don't have a chance to grow because as soon as a little tender stalk comes up, it gets trampled or it gets bitten off. These ducks are destructive. If anyone says, especially if you have a large quantity of ducks, which like I do, you don't have just 2 or 3 ducks. What we didn't talk about is this beautiful arbor that's here. Somehow it got dented right here, but I have no idea. But we put this arbor together as the entrance to this perfume garden. And on each side is a climbing rose. This is called Kiss Me Kate. Kiss Me Kate. And on each, with Kiss Me Kate are these clematis. Now you have these little feathery whorls here on the ends of the clematis stem. And that is Princess Kate. Or sometimes I heard it was called Kate in Texas or Texas Kate. I have no idea. But I thought this was called Princess Kate. So every time I think about this, I think about Kate Middleton for some reason. But I have them both on either side. I kind of did this as a dedication to my daughter. And it is a very nice, fragrant pink rose. So I'm hoping that we can train it up so that it meets each other in the middle. And with the beautiful white and pink streaked clematis kind of growing intertwined among the Kiss Me Kate roses.